Hello, Jeff. Good morning. It's
Thanks.
good to be back in front of your cameras.
Good to have you here as you're running for the council member number 5 position. For folks who may not be aware, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've said a lot in the various candidate statements, so I wanted to approach it differently. They say a person's way of being in the world is formed pretty early in life. My parents were in Houston before I was born, and my dad was fired, it was wartime, from his job for being politically outspoken. So he went to Alaska, and my mom joined him a couple of years later. I was born in Fairbanks, and I spent my first 3 years in a homesteader's cabin in the hills up above the city. And then my mom got tired of that struggle, so she took me and my brother to Kansas City to live with her parents. My grandmother was a first-generation German, and I don't think leisure was part of her vocabulary. So I learned early on to be outspoken, but to know what I was talking about before I opened my mouth. I learned to work hard, and my truck still carries a bumper sticker that says reduce, reuse, recycle, repair. That's kind of the way I live my life. Since then, I've been a teacher. I think I've been a teacher all my life. My sixth grade teacher sent teams of us out to the lower grades to teach science projects, and I remember teaching second graders about clouds. Even after I got my PhD and moved into administration, when I wasn't directly in the classroom, I was still working with students and helping them negotiate the system. Not doing favors or helping them get around the system, but helping them learn how to make their way through it. And that's kind of still where I am.
I know you've run for various positions on the city commission before, but what got you interested now going for the expanded council, and were you in favor of that expansion?
Oh, I was absolutely in favor of it. In fact, there were campaign candidate forums in 2015 where I spoke in favor of it, where I talked about what an advantage it would be to have wider representation, mostly to have a chance for discussion. You know, the issue with 3 commissioners is that legally they can't talk to one another. I'm one who asks questions, believes in discussion, hashing things out before decisions are made. And I've thought all along that if the council really came about, I would love to be part of that discussion.
What would you consider your platform is for this race, or what would you hope to accomplish if you sat there on the chair?
Well, I do have specific issues I'm interested in, but I wouldn't call it a platform. I know we need housing of all levels. It's not just affordable housing. It's, we need houses in town. I know we need economic development. But part of my skill, my ability, has to do with background research. I'm an academic. I know where to look for information. I know how to find it, how to put it together. I believe in talking to a lot of people, people in all groups, not just people in the business community, not just people at church, not just people in Kiwanis or people in my Democrat or Republican groups. And then when you make a decision, I think that decision has to be not one that takes sides with any one person, but that pulls all of that together and looks at what makes the community sustainable. And I think I have that ability. It's like I said, I've learned to figure out how systems work. I've learned how to make my way through them. And I not only learn and speak out about things. One of the people in the county I work with said, Marilyn, be sure you tell them that you don't only talk about things, you change people's minds. And so I think that's a skill we need right now.
What are some of the problems that you see facing the city of Shelton?
I think the problems I see mostly are inherent in the 3-person model. I see projects abandoned when people are elected out of office or choose not to run, and we saw that, I think, with the grant money that had to be returned. We see a decision made by one commission, and then the balance changes and those decisions are reversed. And so instead of moving ahead with projects, instead of continuing in a way that's been planned, we're kind of in a muddle. I think we see that with economic development. I think we see that with infrastructure. We hire a consultant and begin something, and then we hire another consultant and we take a new tack, and we go out looking for other opinions, and we change our minds pretty quickly. And so I think we need some stability. I think that will come with a 7-person council, because the council can own things. Projects don't belong to a single commissioner. And mostly I think it's an issue of approach, sorting out really where we want to go and beginning on that path or continuing on that path with a rationale that looks at the sustainability of Shelton as a whole.
She is running for the council member number 5 position for the City of Shelton Council. It's Marilyn Vogler. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much, Jeff, for inviting me.
Are you fed up with slow internet speeds? Give iFiber Communications a call. We know how important it is to have a secure, reliable connection. Give us a call at 360-427-4000 or visit ifiber.tv.